I've been fortunate to, for the 30 plus years, have been in the banking business. Started out with Barnett Bank, Nations Bank, Bank of America, and now with Great Florida Bank. In conversations with my CEO and the chairman, he blessed the fact that I'm doing this. Why? I've been serving this community for 30 plus years in a host of organizations: South Florida Workforce, the Red Cross, the Boy Scouts of America, the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce. I have been involved, my job being involved in this community has given me the opportunity to learn about this community from all angles, work with the Children's Trust, and understand all the needs that are needed.
I said before that I'm a successful businesswoman, so I am lucky in that sense. I have a business for over 15 years, and I have a business manager that runs the day-to-day of the business. So I do not have to be there on a daily basis. So I am very lucky in that sense, and I do not have to depend on the $500 a month that the commission would be paying. Also, I would like to note that my business does not depend on the Miami business community. My clientele does not come from Miami. My clientele comes from global companies. So therefore, there is no conflict. In addition to that, I have never done business with Miami-Dade County. So it is a wonderful opportunity for me, and I am looking forward to the honor of serving.
There's been a couple initiatives to raise the rate, and I think that a lot of times voters have fallen into a trap. It is a sacrifice to work for $500 a month. I am not going to allow that, though, to keep me from serving. I'm not going to leave it to just those that maybe have a different perception than me. I think one of the things I bring is I am an employee. I am a father of young kids. I am active in the community. And I think that's one of the wonderful things I've brought to Palmetto Bay, and that's one of the perspectives I want to bring to Miami-Dade County. I think I represent everybody here and everybody throughout the district and the county as a whole. I'm fortunate to have a wife with a very good career. She writes books. We have no job with the county. We have no work with county vendors. I'm an attorney by trade. It's very flexible. But, you know, I'll put off sleep till I'm done with my 2 terms. But I enjoy what I'm doing. I don't do this for the money. I do this because of the sense of purpose and because it needs to be done, and I feel I'm the person to do it.
The salary is $500 a month, but the car allowance is $800 a month. I think there are 2 parts to the question. One, you'd like to know from each of us, how can we afford to do it? But the other issue is, what does this do to the county commission to have a salary like this? Like some of us up here, I am blessed. I'm very blessed to have a very successful business. So I've been volunteering, like I say, for 12 years. And this will be a raise for me. We'll be making more money than I have been getting for doing the volunteer service that I've been engaged with for so long. But what does it do to the county commission to have this situation? Well, we read about it, don't we? And we once again see that it's back to the issue I brought up before. The decisions here in this county too often are bent and twisted to the will of big money. Shouldn't be that way. It's screwing us over and over, and we need to stop it.
Still no comment. Okay. Don't want you to feel left out. What is your position on countywide commission seats versus the system of individual commission districts?
It makes sense. We are balkanized, and we are in a situation where there is not the voice, except for maybe some good commissioners like Katie Sorensen, not the voice for the good of the entire county. So we should look at those initiatives, yes.
You think running districts hard, think of what it'd be like to run county-wide. Think of the money it would take, think how the special interests would really own that. At least we're fortunate enough to hear some of us have some great grassroots organizations and some bases to work with. However, I think we should have a hybrid system, and that was discussed, and I know some of my opponents up here are actually co-candidates. Some of us have really been getting along quite well. We're talking about a hybrid system where you have some that are regional. I don't think I want to have a county-wide elected one. That's called the mayor. But maybe we need to have one, or not one, but I mean cover 3 districts at a time. You know, there's different ways you can overlap where you actually can vote for 2 or 3 commissioners. But you need a small district one so the smaller groups have a voice and can elect someone to go in there. Because if you put it back up into the county or that kind of level, you're never going to get someone that truly reflects your areas. And just because you reflect your area doesn't mean you're not of county-wide concern. And Katie Sorensen has proven that.
Back in 1989, I was part of the Charter Review Committee, and one of the proposals that was out there was to create a hybrid system of 9 districts and 4 at large. I still think that that's the way to go. Unfortunately, the Charter Review Task Force that was created by the county a few years ago had a lot of great proposals. What did the county commission do? They put everything into a drawer, closed the drawer, put out 3 proposals, one of which was the property appraisers. That got approved to their surprise, okay? But the salary increase did not, because the voters don't have the confidence in the county commission to approve that, okay? I believe in a hybrid system of 4 at-large commissioner, and yes, I think it should be county-wide, because we have to have a global view, not that parochial view of the county. And that's what happens. It becomes balkanized, it becomes it's all about my backyard. But we need to have a broader view of the county.
I spoke about it earlier about, the fact that we need to have commissioners who have a broader view, and I'm glad that you brought up the task force, because it seems like every 10 years we put together these task force and we ask them to give up their time and their energy to put together these recommendations. And by the way, it doesn't just happen with the charter review, it happens with the environment, it happens with every single issue that we study, and somehow every recommendation from these people who take the time to do this ends up being put in a drawer and they don't listen to any of it. And all these people that give up their time and energy to actually and to do and give recommendations that are very, very good are recommendations that could be used, that should be used, and that they have no vested interest but the best interest of our community. And I don't think they should be shelved. I think they should be listened to.
Annette, why don't you just hang on to the microphone and deal with the next one first? What about term limits? Term limits for county commissioners.
I believe that I'm for term limits. For example, if we could do them in like 3 term limits, but I would add to them an increase in the salary. And I think that's how we could finally get the voters to approve the increase in the salary. And I would make it 3 term limits. And I will tell you that one of the reasons that I say this is because I have watched what has happened with the term limits in Tallahassee, where we have lost a lot of the knowledge with the people playing the musical chairs, and the real powerhouse in Tallahassee has become the lobbyist. And that has been a real disservice, that we have lost some of the good people.